Our next topic is adverbs. Hopefully you can see this pretty well. An adverb is a word used to modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It tells how, when, where, how often, or how much. Many times when I've told students to write sentences with adverbs, they write words actually with prepositional phrases. Give me a sentence with an adverb that tells where, and you say, my cat is under the bed. But under the bed is not an adverb, and under the bed is a prepositional phrase used as an adverb. An adverb is one word. So my cat is there. There would be an adverb that tells where, or an adverb of place. We have words for these kinds of adverbs, and you should know those by now. But they are adverbs of manner, time, place, frequency, and degree. The most common adverb of degree is very. It tells to what degree or how much of something. So my face turned very red. In that case, the adverb very modifies the adjective red and tells how much red or to what degree my face was red. It was very red. Frequency, probably one of the most common ones would be often. I wrote rarely here. You know what rarely means in English. It does not mean the same thing as rara in Spanish. It means not often. It's the opposite of often. So we do get to visit other countries, but rarely. Okay. And then place, one example is the word there. And so when you say, where did that happen? And you're not really sure, well, over there somewhere. There would be an adverb. And then a time one would be now. Never is also a time one, even though it's saying that something is not going to happen. So like, when are you going to get married? I'm never going to get married. So never would be a time. As when, never. See? And manner. Many times when people think of adverbs, those are the ones that they think of. The ones that tell how something is done, and they end in ly. But not all adverbs, and not even all adverbs of manner end in ly. So we have to be careful not to make that the rule. Softly is an adverb of manner. She sang softly. Then I have down here in the next row comparative adverbs. And this is kind of like with comparative adjectives. You're comparing something now to something at another time, maybe. So like, for example, she sang softer today than she did yesterday. So I'm comparing the softness of her singing. And then later. So I guess that's really not really the comparative of now. It's the comparative of late. He came late. Okay. Or he came later than she did. So we're comparing two actions there. And then closer. Okay, so he sat closer to me than he did yesterday, or he sat closer to me than his brother did, or whatever. More rarely. And so you see that the softer, later, closer, these are regular adverbs that are for shorter adverbs and for longer adverbs, just like with adjectives. We use the word more for comparatives. So more rarely, we wouldn't say rarelier. And so you have to just kind of know where to draw the line. Then less is the comparative of a little. A little is what we call a phrasal adverb. It's two words put together, neither one of which is an adverb, but when you put them together, we use them as an adverb. So, let's see, I'm a little sick today. And so sick would be an adjective, and a little would say to what degree I'm sick. And then I'm less sick today than I was yesterday. So I'm comparing 2 times when I was sick. You compare 2 actions, 2 times, to adverbs, to adjectives with comparative adverbs. Superlative adverbs, just like with adjectives, compare one time to other times, okay? Or one adjective to other adjectives, etc. So all of us sang softly, but Melania sang the softest, okay? And we use the word the just like we do with adjectives. Melania sang the softest. He came late, she came later, and I came the latest, or the earliest. And notice here, you should already know this, but when the word ends in Y, you have to have an EST suffix. You need to change the Y to the I and add your suffix, just like I did here. And farthest, farthest is actually the superlative of far. Far, farther, farthest. I don't know why the TH is in there, because English is weird. But anyway, farthest. I ran the farthest of everybody. Most rarely is the superlative of rarely. Whenever you have to use more, then you have to use most for the superlative. And then least is the superlative of a little. So I feel a little sick. I feel less sick than yesterday, but I will feel the least sick tomorrow. So I'm comparing those, the adjective. Okay. This is the short regular form, this is the long regular form, and this is irregular, and you have to just learn those. A little less, least. Bad, worse, worst. Good, better, best. You know, and we just have to memorize those. Interrogative adverbs ask questions like where and how. So, for example, we've talked about finding the subject, and when the sentence begins with where, it's a question, and where is not the subject because where is not even a noun. Where is an adverb. So, where is my hairbrush? Hairbrush is the subject. Is the verb. My is a possessive adjective, pronoun acting like an adjective, right, from the other video. And so where is an adverb. How did you do that? And how is an adverb, modifying the verb do. Okay, and then conjunctive adverbs introduce independent clauses, connecting them with the clause before or the paragraph before. You could use them as transition words. Here's an example of a sentence with a conjunctive adverb. Many missionaries left Honduras during the COVID crisis. However, some have stayed to help people in need. Okay, so this, however, introduces the independent clause, some have stayed to help people in need, showing the relationship between that clause and the one before. Okay, so it's saying, in contrast, some have stayed. However means in contrast. You could also use in contrast, but it's less common with however. Less common than however. These are some other common conjunctive adverbs.